Ready to go?
Yeah.
All right.
It's going to be fun. Volleys are my favorite. And so key markers here are similar to the ground stroke, starting off with a unit turn, the whole body turning together, pivoting the outside foot and bringing the hand back with the body. And then from there, as I move forward to contact, contact is made right in front of my chest. And I want you to pay close attention to what the racket does. At contact, my racket's a little bit open, and that's because I'm making contact just above the height of the net. And so I really can't afford to hit this with a square racket face, or else I'm in a severe danger of hitting the top of the net. So I need at least a little bit of an open racket face, and I'm absorbing a pretty strong shot here. I'm not taking much of a swing. I'm really just meeting the ball out in front of me. And as contact happens, you'll see that my racket goes back away from contact while my hand pushes forwards. And so there's a recoil, or kind of an absorption of energy that's happening right at the moment of contact. And that's from my hand being pliable and relaxed. And so the ball is pushing my racket face back while my hand and my body guide the racket forwards. And so it's kind of two forces working in different directions. The ball pushing the racket back while my hand pushes the ball forwards. And this, in a nutshell, is the toughest thing for players to get, which is why most players have really terrible feel or hands. It's because they kind of have just a hammer is the only tool they have, and they hammer every volley instead of having some feel and some give. Here's my racket face at contact, and here's my racket face after contact. Now, our racket faces are not opening because we are maneuvering the racket underneath the ball. It's a physics response to an open racket face meeting the ball with a relaxed hand, and the ball applying force onto that open racket face. And that's what's causing the racket to get pushed down and open. Does that make sense?
Yep.
And so a lot of players see this from high-level net players, and they see the open racket face, and they're like, oh, okay, so I need to do this to hit a good volley. And so we'll just go ahead and play through a bunch of forehand volleys here, and you're going to see some mismatches between the ball you're receiving and your response with the racket. And so your initial move is great. You're making a unit turn with your whole body. You're pivoting your outside foot. Your take back with your racket is super appropriate, conservative. Like you're not doing too much with the racket at all. And so another theme we're going to work on is smoothness. Your contact point here looks good. Slightly open racket face. You're firm with this, which I don't have a problem with. If it was any lower, I'd be like, but you still made the shot. But then through contact, you can see there's almost like somebody like tugging on your racket.
Don't swing any further.
Yeah, exactly. You're kind of hitting a brick wall. And I'd love to see more flow. That's been a theme for you, is kind of efficiency and allowing the racket to smoothly decelerate instead of coming to an abrupt stop, which makes feel and touch really, really difficult. Let's look through a couple more. So again, high ball with a little flourish at the end, which we definitely don't need. Definitely should have been firm with that shot, but this like scoopiness is not helping out. And to me, this is starting off really natural with the recoil. There's a lot of good elements you have going on here, but then again, everything just kind of like comes to a halt, and there's no continuation of the direction that you're trying to make the ball go in. All right, so we're going to begin with a couple of feel exercises to make sure you really understand the absorption part of it, the recoil part of it, and then we'll start to build around that feel the rest of the mechanics of giving the ball direction and guide forwards. So Jeff, I want you to line up so that you're right on top of the net. You're going to turn to the side the way that you normally would to make contact with the ball. And Megan's going to toss the ball just right at the middle of my racket face. Here, I'll show you lefty since you're over there. And so my goal is going to be to loosen my grip in my hand and allow the ball to push my racket back. And so she's just going to send it like right into the middle of my strings. And then one at a time, I'm just going to allow the racket to recoil. Can you, yeah, give it a little bit of force.
Okay.
Saw the dartboard in the office.
Uh-huh.
You obviously haven't seen me play.
Look out, Kevin.
And so the key here, Jeff, is making this a natural response. Meaning, what I don't want to see from the side is the ball hitting and you going like this, you know? And that's like the response that a lot of players have, and they're trying to like maneuver and like manufacture this like scoopy thing, when in reality it's just from this. Just keep your hand and your forearm totally relaxed. Let it fly back. Great, 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 great. Yeah, nice. Good job. Let's get 2 more of those. Good. All right, so here. Actually, I'd like you to see your first couple where you were kind of squeezing it. Yeah, you're squeezing against it just a little bit. See how you were kind of bouncing it back? Yeah. There's like this little, like you let it go and it was natural, but then you're like, whoop, I need to get it back there to firm. And so once you started really relaxing, the ball was very clearly just winning the collision with your racket,
Yep.
and your body wasn't fighting against it at all,
Yep.
which is awesome.
I see the difference.
So now what I'd like to see you do is, Megan's going to give you that same ball. You're going to allow the racket to get pushed back, and then you're going to use your shoulder to guide the racket forward. And so I just want you to feel like your body, from the shoulder all the way down your arm, is just giving the racket direction. But we're going to segment it a little bit right now. So it's going to look like this. So recoil, and then guide forwards. Recoil, and then guide forwards. Good work. Good. Yeah, excellent, excellent. Good job. One more. Good job. I want you to see the difference visually between like the ones where you're kind of making it go back and the ones where it's a natural reaction. You see how you're like trying to.
I can make this work.
Yeah, you're like, exactly. It's like hitting, and it's like, oh, I probably wasn't relaxed enough. All right, I'll make it go over there. And so there's a little bit of a jagged edge to it, but watch the next one. And so that one's completely smooth because it's just a transfer of energy from the ball to the racket, instead of your muscles making the racket go back. And so this could be like the trickiest part of having good touch around the net, is allowing that energy to transfer into your racket instead of fighting it and being tense and needing to control and micromanage the whole reaction. Yep. Does that make sense? Yep. All right, so now we're going to put it together. So we're going to come back right to this blue line here. Megan's going to toss underhand now. You're going to set up just the way you did before, and now we're going to put it together. So you're going to push forward gently as the ball arrives at your strings. And what we're looking for is a smooth combination of recoil and guide forwards. Great job. Yep. Good job. Just off center. Good. Nice job. Just want to show you those last 4 real quick. That's nice. Nice job. And so it's kind of a paradox. Like we're looking for the ball to disrupt the racket in this way without disrupting the movement of the hand and the arm and the body this way. And so I think this is kind of the tricky part for a lot of players. You're managing it really well. And I can see that you're aware of both elements. It's just kind of juggling them both at the same time. That's the hard part. A little bit of a jagged edge there. That's good. Good adjustment. little bit extra drop, but overall nice direction and nice absorption. All right, so we're gonna back up a little bit. Let's make our home base right about here now. And Megan's going to position herself a little bit more to her left so that we just have a clear angle right down the middle. And what you're gonna focus on now is guiding right down that center service line. And she's gonna toss right to your racket face. And what we need now is a little bit more kind of assertiveness going forwards to make the shot from a little bit further distance. Racket should still lose the battle, but we need to give it a little bit more direction to make the shot from a little bit further away. Good job. Good job, good job, good feel. Nice, Jeff. You're about 50-50 right now. And
Okay.
like 50% are like exactly the ones we want, and the other ones are a combination of meeting it too far in front, and so there's just nowhere to go.
Yep.
And once in a while, the exaggerated drop,
Yeah.
where it's like too much drop.
Yep.
And that's pretty much it. I'm really kind of on the fence about how much I want to really like dig into the overextension one. Because I see that you feel it, and like you know it. Pretty good. A little bit of overreaction there.
Mm-hmm.
That's nice.
Yeah, there was one. I
That's
think that- I
really
think that
good.
was the
This
one.
this is one we want to like bottle. Really nice, really nice. This is exactly the one that we want. And so this is why I'm on the fence, is because out of every 8, there's like 3 or 4 where I'm like, yeah, like yes, awesome, and then a couple other variations. It's a little overextended there. You can see how it starts getting to a point where it's just kind of a struggle to find any other range of motion
Yeah.
because you're so far in front.
Go ahead and do the motion before.
When I was
Well,
just,
yeah. There's what I feel like there's a range of motion with your wrist, in the sense that like if I held your hand here and try to straighten it, this way,
yeah.
do you feel how it's locked? I would say the range, you see how I'm kind of preventing,
Yeah.
but there still gives you some room. So
Yeah.
as you're going forward a lot of times, it's like,
Yeah.
instead of keeping a nice range here. So you can still have the recoil, but recoil without this extension of range.
Yeah.
So it's like if I held you here, you still can go, you have that range there.
But I don't
So,
need to be.
exactly. You just have, out of so many students we have, that's never a problem because it's usually, and you have so much range and flexibility and kind of feel. So I would just say, limit that range a little bit. You still have the play, but you're like extending the play, and especially when you get down to here. So just limit the range a little bit. You want to shadow 4 balls and just feel like you're limiting the range just a tiny bit. And I do agree with what Ian was saying with that. He's like trying to get you to kind of, and you did it a couple times. You limited that range and you went out here.
Yep.
By focusing going forward, you're not dropping as much. Yeah. So that's good because like there at the end, there's still a little bit, but there's not that complete straightforward action. Ooh. That was good. That was good, good. Good, good. How's that feel though?
Yeah. No, it's just it was a good. I just need to tighten that up a little bit.
Yeah. And so like this one, you can really see how you make contact and you're still like, and so later down the road, that was still pretty extended. That's better. See the difference of,
Things are a little bit more on plane
Yeah.
instead of.
Complete bailout.
that's better. You hit a good stretch of where, like you said, you used a comment, I just tightened up a little bit.
So, it was a combination of things. Previously, it was the kind of fake, exaggerated, like scooping or carving or whatever you want to call it on some shots. This is a natural recoil of the racket. The ball causing the racket to recoil instead of forcing it after the fact. So this is really, really nice job going out towards your target. That was the other primary element that was giving you a lot of trouble, was there was a lot of hitting and dropping before and kind of freezing at contact and then just falling. But this is definitely the one we want to kind of bottle and take home. So we've got like 2 or 3 different flavors now, and it's a matter of really consciously, deliberately just picking the one, and then we need to take that framework and then learn how to apply it to different scenarios, different heights, different amounts of like pressure or stress, and still be able to use the fundamentals of that movement. But you're on the right track.